And they were killed in the compound of the hospital, and so their bodies were very visible everywhere. I think as a witness, as a doctor, I think my voice is difficult to refute, and therefore it's critical to silence. For me, the night of the 17th of October, when Israel fired a missile at the al-Ahli hospital when I was there, remains one of the most difficult nights of my life. To be in the middle of the hospital where people had just been injured and killed. 483 people were killed. And they were killed in the compound of the hospital, and so their bodies were very visible everywhere. And the other image is just the sheer number, just feeling overwhelmed by the ambulances that were coming in every minute with 5 or 6 wounded. And you'd spend your whole day operating on maybe a maximum of 8, 10 patients, but you know that in that day, hundreds would have been admitted to the hospital, and you always felt that you were behind. Because you have such limited capacity, you decide which patients you can save, which patients you leave because you cannot save them or you don't have the resources. And as the resources got worse, the triage becomes more cruel because you're leaving patients on the trolley to die from wounds that, you know, had there been a system, health system, they would have survived. This was a tsunami, and other wars were just floods. It's the sheer size of it. So, I mean, in a flood, it's water. In a tsunami, it's water. But in a flood, it's a manageable catastrophe. You prepare for it. In a tsunami, you're just completely overwhelmed, and it takes you with it. You don't control it, it controls you. You're barely keeping your head above water. Adam was wounded. His younger sister was killed, his father was killed, his aunt was killed, his mother was injured. And this is what we see in all of Gaza's wounds, is that these whole families, because they were targeted in their homes or the homes that they were sheltering in. And the other story is the fact that even when I was in Gaza, half of all of the wounded were children. And that this is almost like a war on children, you know, not just the 15,000 children who have been killed or the 26,000 children who have become orphaned, but of the 80,000 wounded, half are children. I think as a witness, as a doctor, I think my voice is difficult to refute, and therefore it's critical to silence. And that's what they've been trying to do, because they haven't been able to refute it. I think because of my over 20 years experience in war surgery, because I'm also an academic in war surgery, I have research publications, I have books I've written. I understand what I was seeing, and I had expertise in the area, and so when I gave evidence, it was a very different kind of evidence. First of all, this idea that of wiping out whole neighborhoods. So what you would see, you'd be looking out the window and you see a whole neighborhood go up in flames, and then a dust bowl, and then the buildings would disappear. And nobody would make it out because these were 2,000-pound bombs. The destruction of the health system, the systematic way, not just Shifa, but going back to Shifa and destroying it again. The Indonesian hospital in the north has been re-destroyed after it's been fixed. When the Israeli army went into Shifa, they did not only went into Shifa, they went to the blood bank, and they prevented the blood bank from sending blood products to any of the hospitals. And so the tools and what we are witnessing in terms of the manufactured famine, all of these are tools of genocide.